All right, so we're moving on to lesson 2 for chapter 7. This is one of my favorite things to do because I feel like we're kind of solving a mystery. It's really fun. It's the order of operations. And so this is order of operations here. It goes along with PEMDAS. And you've heard PEMDAS before. We've talked about it. And so you remember it's PEMDAS. Make sure you write this down. The P stands for parentheses first, and actually I'll put little parentheses pictures here so you know what that looks like. And we'll learn soon that there's 3 different kinds of parentheses. This is just the simple one. Okay, then there's E, so it's exponents go next. Then M, you multiply, but you multiply from right to left. For example, you see a multiplication sign here and here, so you would have to start with this one on the left. So left, did I say right to left? It's left to right. I might have just said right to left. Follow this. It's left to right. So you always start here, then go there. Okay, then you have D for divide from left to right, and you A add from left to right, and S subtract from left to right. So just like you're reading a book. So go ahead and pause me, write those down because you'll need those. Okay, and so here we go. I put down a problem here, and just like yesterday, the problem starts large, and we're going to cone down into a small number here. Well, not necessarily a small number, but we're going to get it down to our final answer that goes here. You'll notice this is an expression. It has no equal sign. So we look and we say, okay, P, are there any parentheses? No. Are there any exponents? No. And then we look for multiplication, and yes, we have 2. So we start here. We need to group these together, and that's, remember I said yesterday, we add this little caret here. So 12 times 4, I know is 48. I have not used this yet, but I'm going to go ahead and multiply these numbers here. So what is 10 times 8, which is 80. So you can see I used this number, this number, this number, and this number. I used the multiplication, but I did not use the addition. So then that's why the addition can move down here. Okay, so now our final step is to add 48 and 80. Well, I know that 80 plus 40 is 120, plus another 8 is 128. So this is my final answer. Okay, so see how we move from big and we coned down into small. Now this is a really simple one compared to everything else that you guys are going to see today. So I'm actually going to bring over your homework page, which again, you're not doing the homework, but I think they gave you a great problem here. And so it's crazy. You look at this and it's like, what the heck? See this thing right here? That's called a brace. Okay. And I remember that it's called a brace because it looks like the braces that people have on their teeth. So I'm going to go ahead and write this down. So that's called a brace. You should write this down, yes. And then the next thing we have is this one. And we call that a bracket. And these are all forms of parentheses. And so here's the parentheses, just standard one. Okay. When you see a brace or a bracket or a parentheses like here, you always start on the outside, the most outside parentheses, which is usually the brace. So you can see out here there's a brace. Okay, so you would say start with the outside I don't know what you want to call it. I'm just going to call it brace because that's generally what it's going to be. Okay, so let's take this as an example here. Okay, so we have parentheses, we have exponents, we have everything. So it's like, whoa, we're just overwhelmed, but really we just need to take it in pieces again. And remember, I love doing these, so there must be a reason that I love doing these. Okay, so here we go. Let's start with parentheses. Again, we have so many parentheses, you're like, wait, where do I even start? Well, I need to start here because these ones over here are inside of this guy. So it says 5 cubed, and that's great because exponents is the next thing we need to do. So perfect. What is 5 cubed? Well, 5 cubed is 5 times 5 times 5. So 5 times 5 is 25 times another 25. Well, if 4 25s make 100, then 5 25s would be 125. Okay, so this now becomes 125 divided by, and I'm going to do this because I'm going to see what I can solve here. And actually, it's confusing when they do it all for us, so we'll go ahead and move it down here. So that's that 125 here. So that's here. All right. Okay, so now here we go. I go over here, and this is in a brace, but it's 1 times this, so I have to do this. So 10 minus 5 is 5, times 1 is 5. Okay, so this is where you got, ignore all this. So 125 divided by 5, which came from up here. I know that that's 25 because I just did it, minus 20 is 5. I know that's super confusing, that even bothered me. So let's go ahead and do one on here without their writing. It'll be a lot easier. So don't worry if you didn't understand that one. So here's my expression. We want to evaluate this expression. So it's 64 divided by 4 times, parentheses, 27 minus 5 squared, then parentheses and brackets. Okay, now, parentheses first. So we go over here. All right, now we have to say, okay, 4 times something, but we don't know what it is yet because we haven't solved this. So we go in the inside parentheses. And then we go, okay, wait a minute. 5 squared is next because that's an exponent. So 5 squared is 25. So we have 27 minus 25. I'm going to go ahead and rewrite this so it's not super confusing this time. All right, so now we're really ready to roll. So we go to this inside parentheses because you want to start with your inside parentheses. So 27 minus 25 is 2. Now we have 4 times 2. Then we have 64 divided by over here, still left over. So what's 4 times 2? That's 8. So now we have 64 divided by 8 is 8. So see how we kind of went into that conical shape. And I just want to be clear, you always are going to start, you look for these outside braces, the farthest outside braces, and then you move in and do whatever you can inside first. Okay? Again, I want to be clear. You look for these outside braces. I'm not sure if I was really clear on this or not earlier, so I really want to push this through. Look for your outermost braces and then move outermost parentheses, brackets, braces, whatever they are, and then move in and do whatever you can first. Okay? Let's do another one. So I just kind of worry because these are tricky. In fact, let's do one off of our work paper today. So this is page 489. Let's do number 9. Looks tricky. Okay. So again, we're looking for our outermost brackets, braces, parentheses, whatever they might be, and then we move in to the middle ones right here. So 6 divided by 2 is 3. Okay. Now that I finished this, I can look and go, 4 minus 3 is 1. So this is 1. So I just finished everything inside of the brackets pretty easy. Now I'm going to go to the brace. Now I have 2 times 1, and this was still in a brace, and this is still in a brace, and I still have times 3 here. So 2 times 1 is 2, times 3 is 6. Kind of crazy how that big mess can end up looking like this. Isn't that weird? Okay, now it's really, really, really important that you guys understand this. So I'm going to do one more. Let's do number 3. Okay. So this one seems like it would be simple, but maybe it will be. No, maybe it won't be. So I look for my parentheses. These are my only parentheses. Then I go to exponents. 4 squared is 4 times 4, which equals 16. So now I have 12 plus 16 minus 11. I can start solving. So 12 plus 16, well, hey, That is 28 minus 11. That gives us 17. Okay? Take your time. Come see us on our meetings if you guys need help, please. You probably will. It's not easy.